All right. Decoding and encoding multisyllabic words. We know this can be hard for our kiddos, especially the encoding part, right? But there are strategies, especially in K and 1, that are taught to students using RGR that help them break apart multisyllabic words. So they use syllaboards. They are these little whiteboards. You don't have to have these little whiteboards. You could laminate index cards. You could use just a regular whiteboard and break it with lines. There's lots of different ways to do this. You guys, don't get hung up on the materials. So there is a systematic and explicit way to do this though, okay? So if you are decoding a multisyllabic word, let's say, I forgot to write it, sorry. If it's the word informative, okay? The first thing we want to cue the children to do is find the vowels. So if you're trying to decode this word, find all the vowels in the word, okay? Now, the second thing we ask is, are they together or apart? So look at your vowels and then see, are they together or apart? All of these are apart, okay? Just a little fun fact about the English language, no English word can end in V. That's why E is added to it. No English word ends in V. That's why you will see that right here, okay? So, we do know usually when there's an I consonant E that it would be a long vowel, but again, that V is just there this time, so it's going to be schwad. It's dependent upon the way the word is accented. So now what we want to do is we want to look for syllable breaks, okay? Syllables usually break in between consonants. Double, or not double meaning the same, but two consonants. Okay, so I have the word. Just break it down. By the way, 50% of syllables in the English language are closed syllables. That's why we work so hard on understanding closed syllables, because around 50% of our syllables in English are all closed syllables. That's why those short vowel sounds are so critical. So we have in, or, there's an R-controlled vowel. Ma, there's a schwad sound there, because that should say may. Informative or informative. So there's that accented, that schwa piece, informative. Now this is tiv, and that is because no English word can end in V. We have to add an E to the end. So have, those types of words, you can't end a word in English in V. So, but that's how we break it apart. We find the vowels, are they together or apart? Break your syllables, usually broken between two consonants, and then give it a go. You might have to play around with it. It might be a little bit experimental, but that's why breaking syllables is so important, even in the upper grades, all the way through middle school, you guys. We want them to be able to decode and encode multisyllabic words, and sometimes when they see a long word, they go, ugh, it's too long, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Find the vowels. Are they together or apart? Break your syllables, give it a go. There's no excuse not to attempt a word. And we don't want to cue them away from the code. We want to cue them to the code. Let's think about encoding a word now. I'm not going to use the syllaboards. I'm just going to use a little paddle board that I have handy, okay? You don't need to have all the special little things to do this. So what I'm going to do is we're trying to write the word indestructible, okay? So first I want to kind of pound that out. Now, fun thing that they do in starting in first grade is they do whale talk. So they close their mouths and they try to say the word. Think about Dory and when Dory tries to talk like a whale in that movie, okay? So indestructible. Okay, so and then we stomp it. And we count. We have 5 syllables in that word. It's a really long word. The more syllables, the longer the word. Also, every syllable in the English language has to have a vowel sound, okay? We have to have vowels in English in order for the syllable to work. So, I might have the children write 5 lines because there's 5 syllables. What's the first syllable? In. I know the word in. D, D, E. Think about the sounds that you hear. That's an open syllable right there. In, D, oh, sorry, and struck. There's a 3-letter blend. Indestructible. Indestructible. Okay, so there's a vowel in this last syllable. That's how that works. And BLE, or consonant LE, is its own syllable type. So that's why it goes here. It's its own syllable type. So indestructible. Okay. That one's a little tricky. Okay. But that does have the short I sound. So it does, hopefully it wouldn't confuse them too much there. But kids don't have to shy away from breaking apart multisyllabic words. Ask them about the syllables. Yes, even in 5th grade, pound out the syllables. Figure it out. Think about the sounds that you hear in each syllable. I guarantee you they can attempt spelling multisyllabic words. Again, it can be a really easy strategy that you use. When you're decoding, find the vowels. Are they together or apart? When you're encoding, pound the syllables, or whale talk it. Count out how many syllables, write that down, and then go syllable by syllable and figure out the sounds that you hear and relate them to the grapheme you know matches that one. It can be as easy as that. Now, knowing some of the fun rules about English also helpful. So no vowels or no V's at the end of English words. That's why we have to add the E onto the end of any word that ends in V. We also know that we can, I just forgot my thought. Anyway, we know we have schwad sounds. That's where I was going with that. So sometimes you have to flex the vowel. And we start teaching that schwad sound, believe it or not, even in 1st grade. They don't have to know really what it is, but they are aware of it. 2nd grade's really where we dig into the learning behind the schwa sound. So that can be used for looking at Greek and Latin roots. That can be used as a strategy for them to say, how do we spell this word? No, honey, go back, pound out your vowel or your syllables, write them down, and then come back and I'll help you if you need any help from there. But we need to make them independent first. That is syllaboards.